Hello, hi, welcome to another video, and this is the final video in my Walter Scott Prize for historical fiction longlist videos. I appreciate the shortlist was announced just over a week ago, but I said I was going to read all the long list, and I have, and this last book was shortlisted as well, so I had to read it, and that is The Land in Winter by Andrew Miller. So what do I think, and do I think it should have made the shortlist? Yes, I do actually, to be fair. I really enjoyed it. So I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's quite simplistic but beautiful as well at the same time. The only small criticism I have is the ending. I invested myself into the characters so much and the story that the ending just fell a little bit short for me. I just wanted a bit more. But I totally get where Andrew Miller's gone with the ending. It's a bit more artistic, and there's clues throughout the novel as to, well, I wouldn't say necessarily clues, but indications that evidence what's going to happen at the end. So I can see why he's made the ending the way he has. I won't give anything away, but yeah, there's these little clues dotted around about this certain character, and about what they're going through, what they're suffering. And, you know, as a reader, we're kind of let into the backstory of this character. And we see that maybe what this character is going through is passed down from their parents. And yeah, there's odd clues of, you know, what this character is interested in. I can't really say too much more without giving it away, but yeah, I can see why the ending was done the way it was. I invested myself in these character stories so much that I just wanted to know a little bit more what happened after. But I suppose, you know, The Land in Winter is all about the land in winter. So it's set in the winter of 1962, and it's sort of the December, it starts in the December, when they've had a really bad snowstorm, and it passes through to January and February of 1963 as well. And mainly we're following two couples. We've got Irene and Eric, and we've got Rita and Bill. Rita and Bill live on a farm. Bill comes from, well, I wouldn't say necessarily a rich family, but, you know, they were well off. His dad was an immigrant. So we see some of the challenges that brought Bill growing up. But he wanted to take his life in a different direction and decided that he wanted to earn his crust from the land. So he bought a farm. And Rita's almost like this housewife-ish, doesn't do much housework really. But then we have Eric and Irene. They live in the house next door, but I say next door, it's like fields apart, but they are technically neighbours. Eric is the local doctor. Irene, once again, housewife, although she seems to spend a lot of time in bed at the beginning of the book. And we follow their stories through this storm that occurred in the December of 1962, and it's such a poignant, sort of solemn look at their lives. And even though what happens to the characters hasn't happened to me personally, I related to the characters so much in what they were feeling. And I would say the feeling of loneliness that these characters go through is so prominent, and really relatable. If you've ever felt a bit lonely, a bit on your own, not sure if life's going in the right direction for you, then it's, yeah, really relatable in that sense. And that's what I loved about it. And that's what I got so invested in. I wanted to see what was happening next to the characters. I wanted to see where it was going, especially what happens between Eric and Irene. But then, yeah, with their story, I just wanted a little bit more at the end. And then with Rita and Bill's, I suppose there was not much more to take their story, but it would have been nice for it to have ended slightly differently. I can't say more than that. But yeah, it's a really nice book. It's quite simply written as well. Some nice language, not overly complicated, really easy to read, really accessible. And yeah, the chapters are fairly short in places. So that helps with the pace. You've got a couple of longer chapters as well. And each chapter, especially at the beginning, we are flitting between the four characters. Each one has their own sort of story arc going on. And then we have chapters where they're all together or the couples are together. So the pacing's really nice as well. And yeah, to be honest, it's 5 stars. I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So I definitely think it deserves to be on the shortlist, and I'm not sure where I would put it in my shortlist top 6. But off the top of my head, it could nudge into the top 3. I don't think it's ever going to get into the top 2 with The Safekeep and Glorious Exploits, which I think is my top 2 at the moment, but I will do another video closer to the time, probably at the beginning of June, before the winner is announced, of my top 6 and predicting who I think might win the Walter Scott Prize for historical fiction this year. But that's my thoughts on The Land in Winter. So next, I'm probably going to take it a bit easy. I've got some studying to get on with. I might do a study update video at some point, but I am going to go back to my classics because I haven't read anything classic for a while. I'm missing my Victorian literature, and I'm going to keep Austen till Jane Austen July, and I may even challenge myself to try and read everything I've got from Austen, which is pretty much everything, I believe, all the novels anyway. I've got a book with some of the short stories as well, but we'll see. And then I really want to read Uncle Silas and the Woman in White, but they're kind of quite gothic-y, so I want to leave those till a bit near the end of the year when it gets a bit darker, a bit colder. So I might now start on Trollope. I was going to do the Barsetshire Chronicles. I've got 5 of the 6 books, and I've been saying I was going to start that for ages. I really enjoyed The Way We Live Now. It's the second book I think I read from my Victorian literature journey that started nearly 2 years ago, and I love that. So I'm gonna start with the Barsetshire Chronicles with The Warden, I believe is the first book, so I'm going to do that. I don't know whether I'll do a video for each individual book, or if I just do one big video about the whole Chronicles. Yeah, I'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's my thoughts on The Land in Winter. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, actually. It's a nice change up from the rest of the books that were in the long list, and also makes a nice addition to the shortlist as well. You know, shortlist, we've got Safekeep, which is very story based but literary at the same time. You've got Glorious Exploits, which is just jolly good romp, really good fun, but a great story too. You've got this, which is just nice story, simplistic, beautiful. We've got The Mare, dark, a bit deep, but once again really enjoyable story, one you really get into. The Book of Days, very dreamlike, lovely language. I really enjoyed it because it's Tudor England, set in Tudor England. So and then we have the other one, Heart in Winter, which, you know, it's different again. So we've got a lot of, 6 different books, completely different books in the shortlist. But yeah, I'll do my thoughts on the shortlist a bit closer to the time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.